welcome along to the next instalment of our January campaign. Every January on Property Tribes, we present a month of themed content to kickstart your landlord year. And this year we are focusing on the benefits of being a digital landlord, taking a digital first approach. And joining me to discuss that is Andy Mendelsohn, CEO of Aucspace, who are the powers of our auction category. And Andy, well, we're both digital converts, aren't we? But
yeah.
Typically landlords tend to be a little bit stuck in their analog ways. They like their spreadsheets and their post-it notes. And part of our campaign is really to get them to embrace digital tools. And I know you fully support that notion.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think that the first thing you should be doing these days is looking for your solution online. Don't go, if your first thought is pick up the phone and call a solicitor, no, don't do that. First thought should be to go and find a quicker, faster way to get the information that you might need. So, I do this all the time. I have been working online for a long time. So a lot of this is second nature to me. Zoom meetings are second nature to me. Google Hangouts are second nature to me. So for me, the adaptation isn't complicated. It's very easy for me to do that. But I also know that there are other people who, are members of my family, friends of mine, who are, somewhat terrified of the technology. And it's not frightening. In fact, it's your friend. If you think that you're not going to break anything, nothing's going to go wrong. And in fact, if you want to, if you want to go out there, we provide a product that's about providing a summary of legal pack documents. Now, you could go and call your solicitor and get that done, or you could just come to Aucspace, and it's a really simple process. The idea that you can go there and you can pull down a legal pack summary like that is something that people aren't aware of. But this is not just legal pack summaries, it spreads across the whole board.
Yeah, the whole prop tech and fintech sector is doing very, very innovative things. We have our own product, Landlord, which is the property portfolio management system, and very sophisticated deal analyzer, among other things. But I think, you hit on one of the key things, or a couple of the key things of digital products is obviously very time efficient, often very efficient in terms of saving money, and there's many more reasons to use them. One, you can do it from the comfort of your own home as well.
Yeah, you don't need to be out. You can sit there on the sofa watching TV, want to go and have a look at a property, want to find out what's in the legal pack, download a legal pack summary. You can do that without any phone calls. You can do it at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night. You don't have to wait till a Monday morning. These days, a lot of the auctioneers are providing virtual tours. So you don't even have to go and visit a property to express an interest in it. Obviously, if you're going to go and buy something at an auction, the ideal will be once you've gone past these early due diligence steps, then you probably don't want to put your computer away and see if you can find out what something's like in the flesh, so to speak. But the initial stages that take time, you can get rid of them. It's all about, trying to make it easy to do the things that you don't need people to do. You don't need to wait for people. And, that's what, the technological solutions we have today help you to achieve. Definitely.
They do, and they deliver instant gratuity as well, which most people really, really do love. I think the other thing is that very much in our mind, digital products can be used for risk mitigation because they provide data, and important data that you might otherwise miss. And obviously with our product, for instance, Landlord, it does greatly mitigate risk when you analyze a deal and make sure that you understand all the kind of bottom line figures around that deal. And also for your product, Aucspace, again, it's a great way, a digital way to mitigate risk. And in the past, many people wouldn't bother to get a solicitor to inspect a legal pack because they didn't want to incur the expense of a few £100s without understanding or knowing that they were going to win that bid, and that kind of put them off doing it. And that's greatly enhancing risk not to, but you've literally solved that problem. And I think that's what's so great about all the innovation that's happening in prop tech and fintech, is that it actually really does solve property investor problems.
Yeah, definitely. If you want to go and buy a property at an auction, then how many properties do you want to look at before you're actually going to be successful? And how much does that cost you if you're going to pay a solicitor? Or how much risk does that incur for you if you don't want to pay for a solicitor? So, the fact is, if you're going to use something where the legal pack summary has been delivered for you at a fraction of the price of going to a solicitor, then you can look at 12 properties rather than 3, because the cost is going to be the same. And that increases your chances of being able to find the right property. It reduces your risk, because, as you say, the key thing here is really about how do I do my due diligence? Where do I find this? It reduces your risk, increases your opportunity for bidding, and you know what it is that you're looking for. And it's all done really quickly. It's so much easier to do it today than it was 5 years ago. And also because so much data that we use to make our decisions is available online. What we've done, and I think what you've also probably done, is we've collected a lot of this data and we put it in one place. So you don't have to come to our site and then go from ours to another site and a third site to find this out. We try to give you as much as you possibly need in order to make that decision. And it's digital first. It's all digital first, and that should be our byword for the next 5-10 years easily.
Yes, well, we're talking in a post-COVID-19 world. Obviously, last year we had the lockdown and all the difficulties that created. But by the same token, it actually greatly enhanced the velocity of change in the prop tech and fintech sector. Those changes were coming anyway, but it did definitely sped them up, which is actually a positive thing, I think. But aside from that, I think for landlords and property investors who are analog minded, I think the main thing for them is that instant gratuity, that's very rewarding. Digital products deliver that, but also having a great user interface and functionality on the sites that they use. And I think certainly with Aucspace, it is so easy to navigate. It's so easy to understand how it works. It's very intuitive. So I think for landlords that are still sitting there, going through their auction catalogues and so on, they should give it a try. And once we get them over that hump of kind of resistance, then they often just take to these tools like a duck to water, and then they think, well, how on earth did I manage before without them?
Definitely. And also, look, there are auctioneers out there now who are no longer producing catalogues. So if you are not going to be using the internet to go and solve or to go and answer your questions, then you're going to get left behind, because the only way to find information on some of the things you're after is now online. And now most of us have smartphones. I know there are some people who don't, right? And I know there are some people who won't ever have a smartphone, but the majority of people do. And I would expect that most landlords have smartphones. We have designed a site that's responsive, so it should work as well on a mobile phone as it will on a computer. So it's about making people mobile first, digital first. The first thing you look at is your phone. The first thing you do is go online. It's about making that a part of your everyday life and habit, because otherwise you will lose out eventually. Maybe not tomorrow, but at some stage it will be something that you've missed because you're not technically savvy in what's actually fairly easy these days. I'm sure there are people who can offer help as well if you struggle, but yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so what we're really saying is that the digital first approach gives property investors a definite edge. And I think one final thing I think we would both agree, Andy, is that digital tools are in real time. They can be updated very quickly in a matter of a minute or so if there's been a change. I know certainly, for instance, with Landlord, when the stamp duty tax cuts were announced last year, that we were immediately able to update our stamp duty calculator so that it reflected the new regime. And this is the same with your product as well, because auction packs can often change right up to the day. And if you had an analog solution, you would have to keep re-going over that, sending out documents and that kind of thing. But of course, as you've been saying, online, it's just a simple download.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen auction packs change on the morning legal packs change on the morning of an auction. And yes, we know about that straight away. We update it and we put it there. So if you bought it, you get it straight away. And it's not something you even have to keep track of. Because you've registered with us, you should get a notification on your phone if you're carrying your mobile phone around. If you're at a physical auction, then yeah, you'll know about it there and then. So it would definitely help. Definitely, improve people's ability to understand what it is that they're getting and to take part in the market. Really does.
It really does. And so much of everything to do with prop tech and fintech and these wonderful digital tools that are out there for property investors is that there's a lot of automation. And again, that's very efficient as well, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's, as I think I've said, there's a lot of people who know me know, well, it's what I've spent most of my life doing is making it easier for people, is smoothing the bumps in the road so that they don't even notice the friction anymore. And yeah, technology is how we've gone about doing that. There are questions about how we as a business manage to deliver what we deliver at the price point. You know what? It's technology. It's digital first. It's recognizing that you can crowdsource the cost of a product because there are more people buying it. So, yeah.
Well, good stuff, Andy. Thank you so much for joining me on our January campaign. There are challenges ahead this year, undoubtedly facing the property sector. Many, many headwinds, speed bumps along the way. And I know you join us in encouraging landlords to use these digital tools as a means to smooth out those bumps and find a way through those headwinds. So thank you very much for sharing your many, many years of experience and insights into this topic. It's really been great to have your contribution.
Pleasure. Thank you for asking me.
Well, Happy New Year to you.
And Happy New Year to you too.
And if anybody would like to go and check out Aucspace, there'll be a link below. And it's a great resource for anybody who buys properties at auction. Great digital tool right at your fingertips. So do go and check it out. But for now, Andy and I are signing off. And thank you very much for watching Property Tribes TV. We'll see you soon.